we could be seeing some major changes with the Mavericks if they decide to go this route. The Dallas Mavericks are in pursuit of a point guard. That's not a secret. That is public knowledge. We first got the report on the night of the lottery when we got the #1 overall pick, but also Marc Stein reported just the other day on who the Dallas Mavericks are going to be targeting. And we've already talked about Jrue Holiday. We will talk about Lonzo Ball, but the third player that we need to talk about is Chris Paul, who did sign a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Spurs last season, but will be an unrestricted free agent going into his 20th season of his NBA career, where he will be turning 40. There are a lot of pluses and minuses when it comes to Chris Paul in acquiring him, but the Dallas Mavericks, who are in need of just any type of relief at the point guard position, but also someone that could act as a secondary coach and a mentor to our younger players, would be a plus. So, in this video, we're going to take a look at Chris Paul. How well did he play last year? What could he do for the Mavericks? And how well could he fit on the team? And what would it take to get him on the roster? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with this video, we are currently sitting at 20,913 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 22K before the end of the summer. I know we can do it. We only need about 1,087 subs left. So if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it greatly. But the Dallas Mavericks, like I said, we're looking for a point guard. It's not a secret. Everybody knows it. Everybody, their grandma knows it. Kyrie Irving will be out for significant time. They're saying around late December, early January, possibly February. But regardless of when he returns, we will be without our starting point guard, our facilitator, our floor general. And the way this team is set up, the fact that we are very heavy in forwards, we need somebody to play make. And yes, we already have several players that could definitely do the job. A lot of people, myself included, are very high on Brandon Williams. He looked very good last year when we needed him most. He definitely didn't look like somebody who just had one great game and that was it. He had consistent great games with the Dallas Mavericks. We also have Naji Marshall, who had a great year last year, especially the second half after he got over that weird illness. And I expect him to continue this upcoming season with ball handling duties. But if we can find a player who can play the starting position but also be a great backup, that would be even better. But the cherry on top would be someone that has experience, someone who's seen as one of the best point guards in the modern NBA, someone that may not have ever won a championship just yet, but can still provide a lot of knowledge and wisdom on the younger players on this team, and that player would be Chris Paul. If we take a look right here, Marc Stein says Dallas is going to at least explore whether or not it could acquire Jrue Holiday. A more reasonable target that Dallas has maintained interest in is Lonzo Ball. Another name to monitor for the Mavs is Chris Paul, and that was from Marc Stein himself. And it was reported just the other day after this, the Dallas Mavericks have the best odds to land Chris Paul in free agency. Like I said, he only signed a 1-year, $10 million deal. He is an unrestricted free agent. He will be turning 40, but how well did Chris Paul play last year? Well, let's take a look. For the season, Chris Paul did average 8.8 points, 3.6 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 0.3 blocks, 1.3 steals, 1.6 turnovers, 1.8 fouls per game, while shooting 42% from the floor and 37% from three, and that is on 28 minutes a night, playing more per game this past season than the season prior when he was with Golden State. Chris Paul also played all 82 games this year. I know one of the biggest downsides to getting a player like Chris Paul is the fact he's turning 40. We already have several older players. We got Klay Thompson, we got Anthony Davis, we got Kyrie. I totally understand people who don't want Chris Paul because they're tired of this team looking like a nursing home. Let's get some younger talent that can help us in the long term and not just the short term. But if the Dallas Mavericks are only really focused on the short term right now, why not go after Chris Paul? He's not a player I would particularly go after. It's not a point guard that I think would be the best fit, but it wouldn't be the worst fit either. Like I said, someone who's been about to go into year 20 in his NBA career. He's been around the block. He's seen a lot. He's made it to the finals with the Suns and then lost to the Bucks, but he does have experience, not just as a player, but as a point guard. He's someone that Brandon Williams and several other younger players on our team could definitely learn from. I think one of the biggest just pluses when it comes to getting someone like Chris Paul is for Cooper Flagg. A lot of people have said there's two different timelines and you can't juggle both. You can't try to compete now and build around Cooper Flagg for the future. But I'd argue you can kind of do a little bit of both. Obviously, we're trying to compete now. You get the best talent, you try to get them as healthy as possible, and you try to go as far as you can in the postseason. But if you get the right players, no matter their age around Cooper Flagg, not only will they be able to help him now, on the floor, but also help him in the future when it comes to wisdom and guidance. Cooper Flagg is about to join the Dallas Mavericks with Jason Kidd as a head coach, with Anthony Davis in the starting lineup with him, Kyrie Irving when he returns, Klay Thompson, and then if you also put Chris Paul, Cooper Flagg, as well as Derrick Lively and any of the other younger players, have a multitude of amazing talent, wise players, older players that they can learn from that'll give them an edge over all of their other contemporaries in the NBA. I think Cooper Flagg has an amazing opportunity with the Dallas Mavericks, and if you have someone like Chris Paul, that's even better. Any deficiency that Cooper Flagg may have could seemingly be gone just by having Chris Paul in the locker room. And if we take a look right here, Chris Paul last season, like I said, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. He played all 82 games. Health has been the number one concern when it comes to Dallas Mavericks, and I understand. I can already see the comments now. He's 40 years old. Why are you trying to get older? Why do you want these old players in Dallas? I get it. But being almost 40 years old and you played all 82 games while averaging 28 minutes a game, and yeah, your points were low. I'm not looking for Chris Paul to just be our leading scorer or even a main scoring option, but 7 assists a night, that is not bad for someone his age, and that just goes to show that he is going to be a future Hall of Famer. He is the prototypical true point guard that still lives in the NBA. And on top of that, all his many accolades, 12-time All-Star, 5-time assist champ, 6-time steal champ, they're all right there. You see it. I see it. We all can see it that Chris Paul isn't the worst pickup. He's not going to be expensive. The vet minimum may be just what he takes. If no other team can offer him more, then sure, come to Dallas. The 1-year, $10 million contract that he did get from San Antonio may not be something that he can get here, but if he does like the idea of playing alongside Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, if he thinks he can definitely have an impact on Cooper Flagg right now, sure, give him a 1-year minimum deal. Don't bring back Dante. Don't bring back Spencer Dinwiddie. Just have Chris Paul in that starting role. Have Brandon Williams back him up. Najee Marshall can help out as well. Trade Jaden Hardy for whatever you'd like. And the Dallas Mavericks don't look that bad. And like I said, Chris Paul may not be my number one pick out of all the free agents or possible trade targets for the Dallas Mavericks, but he's far from the worst. If we take a look right here, like I said, that 1-year, $10 million contract from the San Antonio Spurs, he's about to be an unrestricted free agent. He may not see that type of money, especially from the Dallas Mavericks. We are in the second apron. One of the number one goals for this team this summer is to try to get under the second apron. But if we could offer him just as much as we can, a veteran deal, and he takes it, the Dallas Mavericks will be in good hands. And I understand a lot of people don't really believe in a 40-year-old Chris Paul. I'm not saying he's going to be the needle mover. We don't necessarily need a needle mover in that point guard position. Just someone to do the job right. Pass the ball, don't turn the ball over, help play make, set up for other guys, and the team will be fine. We have a lot of strength in other positions. It's the point guard position that needs the most help. And a few other things that we definitely want to take a look at. In the last few seasons, Chris Paul has definitely stepped up. If you want to pause the video, take a look. His averages have obviously dwindled as far as scoring goes, but that shooting percentage in some areas have gone up. Some areas have only gone down a little bit. He's still as efficient as he was about 10 years ago. The assist numbers aren't that far off as well. And again, the 82 games, averaging 28 minutes a game, that's the one thing I'm looking at for someone that's almost 40 years old. That's something that you can definitely sell a team on for reliability, and also just knowing that Chris Paul would be a good fit for this team. And the last thing that we got to take a look at is an update on Chris Paul. Chris Paul could be on the move again after spending 1 year in San Antonio per the Stein line. Anticipation is building that Paul could be on the move again this offseason, even though his time as a Spur, as a mentor to Victor Wembanyama, and a young team overall was an unabashed success. The reality now, though, is that San Antonio acquired De'Aaron Fox in February and just watched Stephon Castle assemble of a Rookie of the Year season. Since winning the May 12th draft lottery, San Antonio has likewise attempted to convey a desire to rival teams that intends to keep the number 2 overall pick in the next month's draft to select Rutgers Dylan Harper. So that right there shows you that the Spurs already understand that Chris Paul may be out the door. He was a wonderful mentor for their younger players. They are getting even more young, great talent. I mean, they got Victor Wembanyama, they got Stephon Castle, and yeah, go out and get Dylan Harper. They're trying to build their own dynasty, and Chris Paul may not be a part of that picture. So if he's on the move, why not come to Dallas? I don't hate it. May not be my favorite pick, but I do think it has a lot of positives aside from him just being old as one of the glaring negatives. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think Chris Paul is exactly what we need? Do you think he's too old and we need to go younger? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for being so hard to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below, as well as our Spotify, because if you can't watch me, you can still listen to me. But y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.